What's up, everybody? I'm Jim with Straight Blast Pythons. Welcome to the channel. So like many of you guys out there, we spent the last weekend at the NARBC show here in Tinley Park, Illinois. It's a local show for us. We always make sure we get out there even though we're not vending it. And I'm not going to go ahead and do any sort of like behind the scenes or rundown of the show, honestly, because I didn't take a lot of video while we were there. But we did pick up a couple of animals, and I do want to give you guys a quick look at what we got, why we picked them up, and maybe a couple ideas what we're planning on doing with them. So I'm not going to do any sort of full breakdown videos on them. This is just a sneak peek. Before I do get into that though, if you guys notice, I'm in a different location. I'm back in our actual basement. I usually try not to film down here because we have the air handler down here, and until I get the actual snake room set up, it is kind of a little noisy. I'm doing an experiment with this video now that I do have the new mic. I'm trying to see if it cuts out a little bit of that background noise from the air handler. If the audio is a little iffy because of the noise there, I apologize, and I won't do another video down here afterwards, but I'm just kind of doing this one as a test. But anyway, back to the point of this video. Let's talk about what we picked up here at Tinley this last weekend. So I've talked a couple times now throughout the last few months as far as my plans with kind of redirecting the collection a little bit, reformatting the collection, whatever you want to use terminology there. But what I've been doing is I've been changing the direction that I'm going with my breeding plans via the males. And as you guys are probably already aware, last year I picked up a hypogenetic stripe and a banana black pastel hypo clown to start working a lot of double and triple recessive projects. I'm planning on keeping a lot of holdbacks for those projects this year, as in the 2024 season. But I don't want to continue moving forward doing the same pairings, not actually progressing the collection, not actually moving myself forward in any way, shape, or form. So I'm not planning on just doing a whole bunch of double and triple head pairings again over the next year or so. So my goal at this Tinley was to find a few males that I can push right into my clown project for 2025 and actually set myself up for 2 or 3 years worth of pairings as far as using the females that I already have and being able to rotate these select males around to really progress my clown project. And the reason I wanted to get several males, and I was trying to do it now, is because, as I've said in other videos, my goal is to be a breeder of multiple species of python. I do want to expand straight blast pythons into other species. So my goal is really to spend the next year or two progressing in that direction and procuring some animals that aren't ball pythons. Like I've said before, I want to get into short tails, I want to get into carpets. I really like the savu pythons, I like the green trees. I want to be able to go a couple different ways. Nothing like as invested as I am in the ball pythons, but I want to be able to play around a little bit. Really, it's just kind of my snake ADD or my boredom kicking in with that. It has nothing to do with anything else, but that's where I want to go as a breeder and really just as a collector. So by picking up the 4 males that we picked up here this last weekend, it's going to allow me to kind of not worry about too many new additions into the ball python collection over the next few years, as I'm going to be able to rotate these males and get the genes spread out amongst all of my visual and het clown females that I currently have. And that's really going to get me to be able to step the collection forward a little bit while all these double and triple het projects grow up over the next few years. But I really don't want to make this a long video, so without further ado, let's jump right into the animals that we picked up. So our first pickup came from Bob Vu over at Bob's Balls, and it is a lace yellow belly 100% het for clown. So I've been looking at the lace gene for quite a while. I know a lot of people out there are as well, even though more recently I've been hearing some people say they regret getting into it. Not really sure why, but I really like the lace yellow belly combo. I really like what it does in clown. And seeing as I do not have any DG, I have no intention of getting into DG, and I think a lot of people compare the lace and the DG together, and personally I like what lace does better. Having a big base already in hypo clown, I would like to use this to be able to eventually push towards a hypo white lace clown project. Also, just generally being a cleaner gene, generally, enhancing everything else it goes to. Having the lace in the clown project and actually trying to get a good base of it developed over the next year or two is going to really just kind of give me some room to play as far as being able to maybe work with some genes that muddy out a little bit more and be able to clean those up, because my goal really is to make animals that look good as adults, not just as babies. And I know a lot of people say that, but I think that's something that in the ball python industry, especially seeing as they do tend to darken, they do tend to fade and brown out, as adults, regardless of what the genes you're working with are. That's something that we need to be thinking about. We haven't been blessed in that aspect with this species that looks better as it ages. In fact, it obviously usually looks best as a hatchling. So with the long-term goal of making good-looking adults, the lace yellow belly is going to play a critical point to that here in the future. Now, before anybody asks, why did I get a het male instead of a visual male? Well, to be honest, I'm not made out of money, and a lace yellow belly clown is a little bit outside of what I can afford to pick up if I wanted to be able to pick up several other males alongside of it. So I went with the het, seeing as it'll be used for a couple of years, het to het pairings and het to visual pairings. I should easily be able to kick out at least a couple of lace yellow belly clowns. So we'll continue on with the other het that I picked up before we get into the visuals. And this next one up we got from Brock Wagner is a black pastel confusion 100% het for clown. Again, it's a male. So I wasn't actually planning on picking this guy up when we got in there. It was actually a last minute pickup, like within the last 10 minutes of the show. I was originally going back and forth between wanting to get a confusion combo or a lace yellow belly combo before I ever even bought the lace yellow belly that I just showed. But I thought the lace was going to be more versatile, and so I made that purchase for a Tinley pickup and kind of figured I'd get confusion later. Another one of the boys that I'm going to show later also came from Brock, and I was just kind of going over to his table to talk to him a little bit before the end of the show, and was looking at him. They said make an offer. I made an offer. They accepted it, so I did wind up grabbing this guy. Again, he's black pastel confusion, 100% het for clown. I really like the confusion clown project. I'm not really going to go too much into depth on that one, but it is kind of a bonus that I'm adding in here that I wasn't planning on getting, but I'm happy to have. This guy, he's feisty. He's got the confusion attitude, and you know what? That just makes it fun. I'll go a little bit more into detail on what I'm thinking about doing with him in another video, but awesome pickup. Wasn't expecting to bring this guy home, but once again, another one added to the collection, and we're going to be able to do a lot with him over the next couple of years. So that's it for the hets. Let's go ahead and move on to the two visual clowns that I picked up. And now these two visuals, these are the ones that I'm actually really excited about. So, well, yes, I'm excited to have the lace yellow belly and the confusion genes into my clown project. Those are genes that are currently already being worked by a lot of people. They're going to add a nice punch to my collection in the long term here, but they're not going to be the mainstay. I kind of picked those up with the intention of them being those like accent genes, that little extra to add on to the other projects. But I've been racking my brain for a long time trying to figure out how I want to take my clown in a different direction, my clown project, I mean, in a different collection than what everybody else is doing. Don't get me wrong, like the whole spot nose, yellow belly, red stripe clown that most people seem to be going after nowadays, it's a great animal. They look amazing. But like I just said, everybody seems to be going after it. I've made comments in the whole like Morph Mindset series that I've been talking about that like everybody seems to be going the same direction, and I think we need more variety. And this is kind of what I'm talking about. People need to be finding their own paths and going different directions with their projects. So these two visuals that I picked up are really going to define where I'm taking my project, because I don't have spot nose, I don't have leopard, I don't have red stripe in my clown collection at all. I don't have any of those three genes, and I know some people would say that's blasphemous. I kind of got laughed at, or more of had a shock effect when I said that in a live not too long ago, but I don't have any of those three genes in my clown. In the future, yeah, I probably will have them, but none of them are going to be like a mainstay of where I'm taking my stuff, because like I said, I want to stand out. I want to do something a little bit different. So this first male, or the first visual male at least, that I picked up here is the one that I initially decided on the route that I want to take. So I picked this Calico clown up from Jeremy Baud at Baud's Exotic Reptiles, and I've been looking at the Calico clown stuff for a while. So Calico is not in any way a new gene. We all know that. It's been around for quite a long time, and Calico clowns have been made for a long time, but for some reason not a lot of people are working with them. I was looking on Morph Market actually not too long before making this video, and there was only like 30 or so of them that were up there, and the vast majority of them are just pastel Calico clowns. But there are a few really, really prime examples of other combinations that make this gene stand out. I'm not sure why it's not worked with more, but it's a path that I really want to explore. I've always liked Calico. I've always liked a lot of the Calico combinations outside of clown, And I like what it does in clown, actually kind of messing with that belly pattern, bringing that belly up to the sides. It really creates kind of a chaotic pattern to the normal clown, teardrop, alien head, you know, whatever you want to call that. You know, that side belly, that side gut, the pattern that you would expect to normally see on a clown. I want to see how far I can twist that, how far I can take that. And then Calico also brings in those dramatic colors. You get those really nice blacks. You bring in that kind of blurred or distorted tail pattern at the end of it that you would see in normal Calicos does translate to the clown. So I want to play with it. Calico Clown is going to be one of my two really big focuses over the next few years. I'm going to be putting this boy to a lot of girls next year and the following year, along with the next male that I'm going to show, with an attempt to see really what I can do with that project, and if nothing else, set myself up with a really strong Calico base moving forward. Okay, so being up front, the Calico Clown and the Lace Yellow Belly Het Clown were the only two animals that I was actually intending on getting when I went to Tinley. Both of those animals were purchased in advance. I was just planning on going and picking them up. Like I said, the Black Pastel Confusion Het Clown boy was kind of just a, hey, I threw an offer out there, they accepted it, kind of a bonus. But this final animal, which also came, or I shouldn't say came from, well, maybe came from, but was produced by Brock Wagner as well, was completely unplanned, and it's a direction that I wasn't even really considering going. It's a gene that was on my radar, but I kind of was not expecting to be able to afford it. And this was something that just kind of fell into my lap, and I had to run with it. So we picked up, again, like I said, produced by Brock Wagner again, a Trojan Clown male. And I was lucky enough to win this boy at the US ARC auction at the NARBC on Saturday night. No idea how I won it, got a really good deal on it. Honestly, I have no idea why he went for as low as he did, knowing how awesome Trojan is and what it can do. I'm really excited to have him in the collection. You know, Trojan is an awesome gene, and while there are a few people working with it, it's not really being pushed at the level that I think it should be. And that's probably just because it is a gene that still has a little bit higher of a price tag in its recessive forms. Now, I looked online again just before doing this video, and there was only 7 Trojan clowns available, and a number of them were either just single gene Trojan clowns or leopard Trojan clowns. So I do think there's a lot of room to work this project. Now, I do know that Justin's made some pretty crazy Trojan clown examples already, and there's a couple others that have been 2 and 3 genes out there. I think what I have seen is awesome. And again, it's a route that's not being heavily worked that I want to see where I can go with it, that honestly I just kind of fell into by sheer luck. So between the Calico Clown and the Trojan Clown, that's going to kind of define where my personal clown project is going for the next foreseeable future. The Lace Yellow Belly and the Black Pastel Confusion are going to be, like I said, those accent animals, building up the stuff that's going to eventually move into the Calico and the Trojan Clown projects. That's about all I'm going to talk about today with these guys in this video. I'll probably in the future, when I have a better idea of what I'm going to do come towards the end of the 2024 breeding season, into the 2025 breeding season, talk about what I'm actually going to do with these guys. Not entirely sure yet. So yeah, what do you guys think? Calico Clown, Trojan Clown, are these good projects to go down? What do you guys think of these? Really, the Trojan Clown and the Trojan gene in general. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. There is content out there, but honestly, it's pretty sparse. Everybody I've talked to so far loves the gene, loves the idea of the gene and what it can do, but really haven't seen too many videos out there made about it. Let me know your opinions. And who's your favorite of these 4 that I picked up? The Yellow Belly Lace Het Clown, Black Pastel Confusion Het Clown, Calico Clown, or Trojan Clown? Let me know, what do you think, and where do you think I should go with these projects? Let me know. I'll see you next time.